Hello and welcome everybody. I hope I'm audible. Just let me know once, those who are here. So we have started few minutes early. Good evening. And we will begin. As I told you, we were discussing the pre-board paper. Remember, last class we discussed the MCQ part. If you haven't followed, the link is given in the description box. Don't forget, because you can practice and see. Take it as your, take it as your specimen paper, that how your questions can come. Okay, which portions are important according to that pre-boards paper. Decide होता है स्कूलों में. All right. So you can take that as your preparation paper for before your exam. If your pre-board hasn't yet been over, you can follow that. Okay. Before starting, a slight intro about me. I am Reshmi Mukherjee, as you see my from the channel name. My website is slotskill.com. You can get certain things from there. And Telegram channel, if you want to join, the description box contains the link to it. You can join there. Okay. And if you think that you are benefiting from the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And yes, coming to the next part. Good morning, good evening. Not language paper. This is a literature paper. We are continuing the last paper only. After we complete the whole paper, we will move into the next. Okay, we will not do it haphazardly. Let's finish off with the literature paper, then another language paper I will bring to you. Okay, because we cannot do mix everything, then I tend to forget what we have done earlier. Okay, and other things, the available offers that you can benefit from is, in the live classes I can discuss your question papers. Okay, just like we are discussing now, you can share your pre-board paper to me. Okay, in case you want me to discuss it, I can do that with you. Yes, Parmeet, good evening. Okay, and that will help you as well as finding where you have made mistakes in your paper. Even before आपको paper answer script आपका मिले, you will get an idea of where you went wrong. You can share that to me. If you want to share, you have to share the PDF to this email ID. I believe you can see the email ID clearly. Okay, send clear pictures just like the one you will do from today. You will see how clear it is. According to that, you will send. If possible, you can scan them and send. Okay, and this is the email ID. Just write it down or take a screenshot. It will be beneficial when you share the PDF. And one more thing, once I get your mail, I will reply to it. I always, maybe a little late, but late in the night when I'm done with all the work, but I of course mail it. If I do not mail, understand that you have shared it either to some other email ID, or there has been some mistake. Okay, then resend it. Be careful with the email ID. Next, we will move to the last part before starting the topic. This I am not going to discuss much. This you are already doing. I know if you want it, you already know what you have to do. You can share if you want question papers before practicing, before giving your board exam. You can, if you want literature and language, any of the two papers, if you want, you can ask that from me. You can purchase them. This is a paid one. The previous page that I showed you of discussing your question papers, that is completely free of cost. If you want question papers, if you want answer key with the question paper, if you want me to correct your paper, these have different types of amount. According to that, you can ask. Same email ID you see, you have to request that. You have to say how many papers, and with answer key, without answer key, paper correction required or not required, everything to this email ID again. And by December 31st, this is very important. After that, these will not be accepted. Okay, so December 31st, I hope you have taken screenshots of email ID. Pre to pre. Acha. Different types of exams are taken generally. So you can definitely benefit from these papers that we discuss in the live classes. School's 129th annual sports. It is a grandeur for us, so I'm very excited. Acha, very good. Acha, see, we in the last class what we did is this part we have already solved. This is the MCQ part. Remember, we discussed the whole thing. That is still question number 16, right? We did here. Correct, we did here. Now we are going to start section B. Okay, section B contains what? You have your Merchant of Venice over there. So we are going to discuss that. So let's begin. As this is a subjective part, I will start giving you the answers. Okay, if you want to type your answers, you can do it. I will check it. All right, understood? The whole thing is clear. What I'm trying to say is, in the MCQ live class, I gave you time to answer. Here, because this is all 3 to 4 mark questions, I will myself give you the answer. You check what are the points, if you have written the points, or you know the points, all that. Okay, and second of all, if you want to write the answer, if you want me to check your answer, you can type it here. Satyapriya, good evening. You can type your answers here. I will of course check. All right. So share it with your friends. Those who require it, they can benefit from here free of cost. Good evening, Shreyashi Ranjan. All right. So let's begin. First is C. Whatever I told you, Act 3, Scene 2, remember I told you is very important. You have got a question from Act 3, Scene 2. Okay. What is written? How many cowards whose hearts are as all as false as stairs of sand wear yet upon their chins the beards of Hercules and frowning Mars, who inward searched have livers white as milk, and these assume but valor's excrement to render them redoubted. Explanation to you will get from my from the the recorded videos in the channel. So see that if you haven't followed it yet, if you have doubts. Number 1, what is the occasion of Bassanio's speech? So this extract is from, if you have the same book as mine, Xavier Pinto's Morning Star, you will find it in page number 90. Okay, if you want to refer to the book and answer, you can do it. So first question says, what is the occasion of Bassanio's speech? Of course it is, he has come to Belmont to choose the casket so that he can win Portia's hand in marriage. Not and, so that there is a chance, no? Act 4, Scene 1 and Scene 2. Shreyashi, you will get a question from there also. Okay, stay tuned, you will get it soon. Just the next extract is from Act 4, Scene 1. Okay. What is the occasion of Bassanio's speech? So we have got the answer. The occasion is the first one mark. So what we will write over here, what is the most important point? That the casket choice. He has come here to choose the casket, make his choice and see whether he deserves Portia or not. Okay, done. What is he doing at the moment? Now rest of the mark is here, that means 2. What is he doing at the moment? He is of course choosing the caskets, point number 1, and point number 2 is he is judging. What particularly he is doing over here? This is the gold casket, no? He's thinking about. So we will write he is choosing the casket, and also at the present moment he is judging. He is observing why he should not choose the gold casket. Okay, both the points are done. Mayank, your first answer is correct. The occasion part is correct. Okay. Second one, you have to write 2 points. 1 point is he is actually choosing the caskets, deciding which casket contains Portia's portrait. And second, you have to write that he is actually deciding upon the fact why he should not choose the gold casket. Done. 2 points over. Second question. How come same? First is occasion, only occasion, 1 mark it has. You just have to write that he has come here to choose the correct casket to try his luck to win Portia's hand. That's your answer for the first part. Second part, what is he doing at the present moment? He is what should I say? He is judging, he is deciding, or he is giving reasons, thinking upon the fact why he should not choose the gold casket. Okay, all these reasons are for what? These reasons are just to point out that I should not choose the gold casket. That is at the moment wala part. Okay, I hope it is clear. Next, what has Bassanio to say about the dishonest and pretentious persons? Now you will get it here only again. About the dishonest and pretentious person, what does he have to say? He says no that they have hearts as false as the stairs, okay, stairs of sand. They're extremely coward, but they pretend to be, they pretend to be as courageous as Mars, as frowning Mars and Hercules. Okay, their outward look is like Hercules with all that beard and muscular body, but ultimately they have livers white as milk, or they are completely cowards if somebody searches inwards. Okay, search is there inside. All these, what we are doing, Ayushi, is just so that you can score good marks. Otherwise, why should I show you a set of paper and discuss the questions, right? Tips comes at the end of, when everything is over, then you take tips, isn't it? So, just like when you visit a restaurant, when do you give a tip to that person? Just after you have finished when everything is over, no, you have ordered, you have eaten and everything. When you are leaving at that time, just before you, prior to your exam, you will get all this. But before that, practice the questions. What has prompted him to say these words? Now, why is he saying all of this? Why? Just to, just to give proper reasons. Now you can say that first A and second B's second part. That means A's second part and B's second part is somewhat same. Second part also we are going to write almost the same thing. He has started saying these things because he wants to point out that just as the gold casket has a shiny outside, but the inside is may not be as good as the outside, same way these people, okay, Inca outside is very, kind of glamorous, just like Hercules and Mars. But inside of it, they are ultimately cowards. So we should not trust these people. Same way, one should not trust the outward glow of the gold casket. Okay. Tell me if the second one is also clear to you. These are subjective questions, can appear to you slightly, boring, but nothing can be done. Just see what you have to write. Okay. Ask me whether you have, just point wise you mention them. Keep a note. Okay. Mayank, you may not write all these things. Okay. These, what they actually are, you may not write them. That is no issues with that. Okay. Next, let's come to question number C. What does he say of beautified persons later? Beautified persons, and what word is mentioned over here? Later. See, the question paper is very good. Later is mentioned. That means not in this extract. Just after this something happens. If you have your book in front, you will see look on beauty are the three words after this. Look on beauty. And you shall see it is purchased by the weight. So we have understood that the question is asking you about the beautiful men and women, okay, who dress very beautifully, who, make up their face very beautifully. All those people, the question is asking us about. Okay, so we have to write that these people, these persons who appear very beautiful on the outside, their face looks very pretty. The irony is, they are actually not that beautiful. Okay, they make up their face, or they do their face in a very pretty way. They use a lot of makeup, okay, on their face, and they look very, fair, or what should I say, fair complexioned they look. But ultimately the irony is that they are the ones who have very dark skin tone. Okay, they use the makeup, they use tons of makeup to ultimately look beautiful from the outside, of course. Okay, so that is all you have to say about beautification. Okay, number D. Why does he reject gold and silver caskets? Okay, gold and silver caskets, this is the 100 times I have told you. All these points are very important. All those you don't have. So from here, why Bassanio chose the lead casket, why he did not choose the gold and silver casket, all those are very important. So point wise we will come. See, gold casket, why does he deny choosing the gold casket? Because he realizes that outward shows often are treacherous. Okay, they often deceive us. They aren't trustworthy. Okay, you can write anything, any word that I have used, and elaborate on it one line. That sometimes the outside of something looks very glamorous, glossy, nice and beautiful, but the inside of it may be treacherous, may fool the wisest. So we should not trust the gold casket. Next comes the silver casket. So silver casket, why he did not choose is, silver casket was the one which was just like an ordinary slave. You see, silver casket, the silver material was used to make coins. Now he compares it to, it was kind of an ordinary slave that passes from man to man, from one hand to the other hand. If I want to buy a bag from you, I will give you money. Okay, silver coins to buy that. So, it changes hands from one hand to the other hand. So something which changes hands, which is like an ordinary slave for over which people fight, in that Portia's picture cannot be. So that also he cancels. Understood both the points? Alright. Next, number E. Wherever you have doubt, whoever is following, from man to man, yes, Yusuf. From man to man, it is just like an ordinary slave which passes from hand to hand. It is a reason for quarrel. So, Portia's portrait cannot be contained in the silver casket. Okay, and gold, I have already said 100 times you have seen in his explanation that he does not trust outward shows. Okay, because they often manipulate us, fool even the wisest. Anything you can read. Alright, next come to question number E. What makes him favor lead casket? Now, of course, the third part, what is the simplest meaning of it? Why he chose the lead casket? Okay, why does he do it? Because what will be the answer? That paleness is trustworthy, or paleness is something that he can trust on. You can frame the sentence any way you want. Paleness of the lead casket is something on which Bassanio can trust. Okay, although it is not very showy on the outside of it, okay, just like the gold casket, it although it is not eloquent, it looks very dull from the outside. It is somewhat a promise that the inside of the casket might be as true as the outside. If it looks dull on the outside, मतलब इनका inside भी अच्छा ही होगा. He's not putting a lot of makeup. Imagine if I put a lot of makeup, it means that I am trying to hide my deformities. Okay, maybe I have a lot of pimples on my face, तो वैसा वाला makeup लगा के I want to hide it. Okay, if I am not using, of course I am looking, if I am not, अगर मैंने makeup नहीं use किया, उसका मतलब ये हुआ कि I am not trying to hide anything. Whatever I have, I am showing. Of course, if I am not using a MAC makeup, MAC MAC, a very good company of makeup, I will not look as good as somebody who is using a makeup. Okay, imagine two people go to a party and one is using makeup, another one is not using makeup. So of course the second one who is not using makeup, usko to dull lagega nahi, skin will be dull in comparison to the other. But although he or she is looking dull, she is not false from the inside. No, whatever is true, she is showing. See, I have a pimple, I'm showing it. She's not hiding anything. So the lead casket, although it looks dull, Bassanio chooses it because the dullness of the lead casket also promises that it is not hiding anything. Okay, so you can write simply this one. You have to detail it a bit because it is 4 mark. What does it reflect on his character? This one has at least 3 marks you have to write for this one. Reflect on his character. What can you tell about Bassanio's character? I have written this down for you. You can simply copy whatever I am saying. See, love for Portia. Bassanio's love for Portia is true. This is a point you can say over here. Reflect on his character. So his love for Portia was very true. It was right from the core of his heart. Why? He knows love cannot be weighed in terms of money, just like the other suitors did, right? In terms of money, they measured love. That is not true. Okay, so love is always selfless. Love cannot be measured in terms of money. Okay, you have to risk everything for the sake of love. And therefore, he could choose the correct casket, no? Where he understood he was wise enough to understand the inscribed words that you have to risk and hazard everything. So that meant that he was wise enough to understand that this is for love's sake that I have come over here. Yahan pe I have come here for love's sake, and therefore I have to risk everything, because I have not come here for money making. No, I have not come here for profit. I've come here for love. So I have to risk everything. It's not that I'm purchasing a Apple phone and therefore I will see whether this phone is suited for 50,000. Should I actually pay 50,000 for this phone, or should I go for some other model? So that way we cannot choose, because this is for love. That shows that he was wise enough to understand the words written on the caskets. Second, his love was also pure. Okay, so these 2 points are most important, and you just elaborate a bit on it. Love cannot be won without risk, and yes, you have to risk everything for love's sake. Okay. Now I haven't checked your comments. If you have any doubt, just write to me over here. We have finished with one extract. If there is anything that you want to ask, finish it off. I'll just drink some water, then we will move to the next part, which is Act 4. How was it, MKS? Was it good, your exam? Acha, I believe no doubt. So we will move to Act 4, Scene 1. Those who are here, if you have any if you do not have any doubts, just let me know. Okay, Mayank. All of your language exams were good, no? You followed the format, the letter format, the email, notice, all of the formats properly? No doubts. Alright, so let's move to the next part, which is our question number 3. Question number 3. Okay, so what do we have over here? Let's check. Question number 3 says, I believe this thing is visible to you. Just a minute. English language exam. Don't forget to check the formats, okay, before you go to the exam hall. Just check whether you remember all the formats. If you have forgotten, there are my videos. If you have in your copy, if you have done that format thing in your classwork copy, you can follow that. If you don't have, follow the format that I told you. You will also find it in my website. Okay, so do that, follow the formats, and also you can practice a little bit of transformation exercise. Acha, exam on what? Literature or language? Okay, so let's see this one. But little, I am armed and well prepared. So from here you can understand that this is what? This is of course Act 4, Scene 1. Court scene. I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I am fallen to this. More kind, for herein fortune shows herself more kind. Repeatedly I told you this part is very very important. And see, acha, language. So you have got a question from here. At the court of justice, at the court of justice in Venice, okay, shows herself more kind than is her custom. It is still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth, to view with hollow eye and wrinkled brow an age of poverty, from which lingering penance of such misery doth she cut me off. Okay. So this portion is very very important. Don't ever forget and think that this is unimportant and don't just leave it. If you have forgotten the explanation while we are discussing the questions, you'll get an idea. If you haven't, then if you still cannot remember, you can go back to the recorded classes and check this portion. Okay, Act 4, Scene 1. Acha, one more thing, Act 4, Scene 1, you have the whole explanation in written format in the website also. Search for it over there, you will get an idea. I really bad in essay and pressy writing. Pressy writing, okay, I'll tell you, I'll discuss that pressy writing. I said, but I thought let's do the pre-board paper, 1, 2 pre-board paper, and then we can come to that. Don't worry, all of this will be discussed. Acha, let's see. But little I am armed and well prepared. So this one, if you want to open your book, if you have the same Morning Star book of Xavier Pinto, you will find it in page number 123, line 275. Okay. Question is, where is this, where not is, where does this scene take place? So where does this scene take place? Of course, what you have written, it is the court of justice in Venice. Okay. To whom are, so this is one mark, you have already said. To whom are these words addressed? Now this one is slightly dicey question. To whom are these words addressed? These words are actually addressed to whom? These words are addressed to Bassanio. Okay. As well as Portia. See this part, the first line. This part is actually told to Portia. Okay. And the rest of it is told to Bassanio. Okay. So you can write these words are told both to both to Bassanio as well as Portia. It is best if you write that. And if you have written Bassanio also, maybe there is a possibility that you'll get half. Okay, because see, first line though, he's telling to Portia, no, I am armed and well prepared, I'm ready. Because see, Portia says, come merchant, have you anything to say? But little. So this part, okay, this part is of course the answer to whose question? Portia's question. So, to whom are these words addressed? First line is told to Portia, but the rest of it is told to Bassanio. Okay. To what question does Antonio respond with the words but little? Now same question has been asked. So you have to write to what question. See the last line. What is the last line that Portia said? Come merchant, have you anything to say? Do you have anything to say regarding the bond? Do you want to say something on your behalf? That we have to say over here. So we will say that Portia asked Antonio if he had anything to say about the bond on his own behalf or on his behalf. So that will be our last portion's answer. Okay. Yes, correct. So this second part is slightly dicey. Maybe you will not get a question like that in your board exam. But in this case, you can write both Portia as well as Bassanio. Or be particular about the first line is told to Portia. The rest of it is told to Bassanio. Next, what does Antonio mean? And what does Antonio mean when he says, grieve not that I have fallen to this for you. Grieve not that I have fallen to this for you. What does Antonio mean when he says this? Of course, when he says this, he was trying to mean what? That Bassanio, he knew that he had taken the money from Shylock on Bassanio's behalf. Okay, so when he is going to give away his life for the sake of that money, Bassanio would feel sad and Bassanio would blame himself. उसी की वजह से Antonio has to die. So Antonio knew that Bassanio will feel very sad. So he is telling Bassanio not to feel sad, requesting Bassanio not to feel sad and never think on this line that it was because of Bassanio that he is dying. Okay. He requests Bassanio not to think in that manner. Okay. Asked Bassanio if he wanted to. Yes, correct. So B part is very easy. Simply we have to write that Antonio requests Bassanio not to blame himself that for while paying his debt, Antonio is going to give away his life. And Shylock is going to get a chance of cutting a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Okay. Only Shreyashi, we have to write this in the indirect format. That is, he requests Bassanio not to think that it was because of him and not blame himself. Okay, just in the indirect format. Okay. Number C. What does Antonio instruct Bassanio to do immediately after speaking these lines? Just see how the questions are coming. Immediately iske baad kya? What did he say? Okay, just before that, what did he say? Who questioned before this? Okay. So if we do not read the scene properly, we will not be able to answer these questions. Okay. So, mostly we have to be prepared with Act 3, Scene 2, Act 4, Scene 1. These are very important. Don't leave anything from here. If you have doubts, ask in the live classes. What does Antonio instruct Bassanio to do immediately after speaking these lines? After speaking these lines, if you follow the book or if you remember, you will see that he tells what? Commend me to your honorable wife. Commend matlab ki convey my respects to your honorable wife, to Portia. Okay, say how I loved you, speak me fair in death. That means once I die, I request you to talk fair about me too, or convey my regards, my respects to your wife Portia, because I will not get an opportunity to meet her. Okay, and what else? When you have told everything about me, जब तुमने सब कुछ you have told everything about Antonio to Portia, then bid her be judge whether Bassanio had not once a love. Then you ask Portia that, do you think Antonio ever had a good friend? Listen to what she answers. Okay, so 3 points mainly. First one is convey my respects or Antonio's respects to Portia, who will be Bassanio's wife, because Antonio will no more get a chance to meet Portia. Second, Antonio also requests Bassanio to speak good about him, to speak about his friendship with Bassanio once he is dead. And third, request Portia, after telling the story of Antonio, request Portia to say whether Bassanio ever had a good friend. Is writing the answer to the point. Do we have any? No word limit, Monica. No word limit for your answer. Okay. Just the point is, all the points should be there. आप ऐसे नहीं लिखोगे कि ये point number 1 है, point number 2 है, point ऐसा नहीं लिखना है. But when you are writing the answer, it should contain the point. Just like over here, see first question, where is this scene taking place? So you have to write the court of Venice. Okay. These few words, these important words must be there, but it should be in a complete sentence. No word limit. In CBSE, you get word limit, 30 to 40 words, 100 to 120 words, 10 to 20 words, like that. Not here. Epitaph, was it here? Not here, I think. Let's see. No. It's not here. Okay, so epitaph part we will not write here. Shreyashi. Alright. So Bassanio replied that he is married to Portia, who is so dear to her as his life and the world. He will sacrifice and lose all to save his life. Mayank, which one's answer are you saying? Shreyashi, epitaph part we will not write over here, because see what is written immediately after speaking these lines. Okay, this part is given immediately after speaking these lines. That means just after this we see what I read just now. See, commend me to your honorable wife, tell her the process of Antonio's end, say how I loved you, speak me fair in death, and when the tale is told, bid her be judge whether Bassanio had not once a love. You can also continue adding one more point. Repent not that you shall lose your friend, and he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I will pay it instantly with all my heart. You can also say that he repeatedly requests Bassanio. See, instruction portion is over, so you may not write that point. Okay, if you add, points will not be deducted. You may add that Antonio also requests Bassanio to not be sorry that he lost his life for Bassanio's sake. Okay. Next, what is Bassanio's response to this speech? Okay. What is Bassanio's response to this speech? Response. What is his answer? What we will write over here. Bassanio's response was, you will find just after this, Antonio, I am married to a wife. That means I have a wife which is as dear to me as life itself. So Bassanio says, point number 1, see, point number 1 you have to write. Bassanio tells Antonio that he has married Portia and he loves Portia a lot, more than his own life. However, even he could give away his life, his own wife, and everything in this world, okay, so that he could save Antonio's life. Two main points. First point is that Bassanio says that he has married Portia and he loves Portia more than his life. However, he could risk his own life, his own wife, everything dear to him in this world to save Antonio's life. Okay. He told Antonio that he loves Portia more than his life, but he can lose her for the sake of Antonio. And one more thing, he could even sacrifice his wife to whom? To Shylock. He could even sacrifice his wife to Shylock if there was a chance to save Antonio that way. 3 points done. No doubts, no? Uh, he is going to marry Portia. He has married Portia, who is very dear to her more than his own life. He will sacrifice and lose everything, his wife, his own life, the everything that is dear to him in the world, to save Antonio. He could even give away his wife to. You have to add one more point, Mayank, that he was even ready to give away his own wife to Shylock to save Antonio. Okay. Let's come to the last question. On what note does Antonio conclude his speech? Now, Antonio is concluding his speech. How? See the lines that he's written. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I will pay it instantly with all my heart. So he concludes by saying that that Bassanio should not be sorry that Antonio is going to die soon, and also that he knows that perhaps once Shylock gets to cut the pound of flesh, Antonio is going to die. Over. What does this reveal of Antonio's attitude? Remember those who were there during the MCQ class? One word you got, resigned. Add that over here. He was completely resigned to his fate. Okay. ऐसे मतलब सब कुछ छोड़ दिया अपने fate की पे जो भी होगा देखा जाएगा like that. Okay. He has resigned. And attitude to life and death. So you can say that he has a very resigned attitude, and he has accepted that death is inevitable and Shylock is of course going to kill him. So he has given up to his fate. And you can also say that also about attitude to life and death, and 4 marks. So at this point, this shows that he could do anything and everything. He could even give away his precious life for the sake of his friend Bassanio. Okay. Antonio ends with a melancholic tone and resigned to fate. As the old man resigned his fate. Yes, resigned. Yes, that also relevant. Okay, over here, just like the old man at the bridge. Is there anything that you want to ask from Merchant of Venice? Merchant of Venice portion is done. So we are going to do section C. Section B is done. Section C we are going to do. Okay, next class. Is there anything that you want to ask from Merchant of Venice? I get a lot of questions in the comment box. I request everybody, whenever you have a doubt, just ask me in the live class, because often it happens that I am unable to answer in the comment section. You can ask directly over here. That's why I'm sitting with the book also. Okay, just tell me the line, I will explain wherever you have a doubt. The one whose paper I am solving, if you are here, check whether you have written all the points. Then you will know how much you will score in the exam. Okay. If you have written what I told you, I can assure you that you will line 302 of which one? Which act? Which scene? How much ducats did the diamond cost to Shiloh? Act 4, scene 1. Acha, 302. Check if this same line you're talking about. Cristiano, I have a wife whom I protest I love. I would she were in heaven. Is this the line? Then? Acha, tarry a little. Acha, tarry a little, there is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. This one, right? I'm coming, Mayank. Acha. Tarry a little means wait a bit, wait a moment. There is something else. So I have something else to tell you before you cut the pound of flesh, कुछ और चीज बताना है. Okay. This bond doth means this bond does give you no jot of blood. That means when you are cutting the pound of flesh from Antonio's body, in your just like in your bond, there is no mention of keeping a doctor to sew the wound. Okay, same way there is no mention there will be loss of blood. Okay, no jot of blood meaning there should be no drop. There is no mention of drop of blood. How much flesh you will take, that is written. How much blood you will take, that is not written. So the words expressly are a pound of flesh. So it just mentions you will take a pound of flesh. So take then your bond. So whatever is written, you take that. Take a pound of flesh. But as jot of blood के बारे में कुछ नहीं लिखा है, so you are not going to take that. Okay. But while cutting it, of course, what will happen? That will shed blood. Of course, there will be loss of blood. So in case there is a loss of blood, even one drop of Christian blood, that means even if a single drop of Christian blood is lost, okay, thy land's goods, that means your land, your property, your house maybe, your property, your all the goods, everything that you have, will be taken away according to the laws of Venice. Confiscate, that means it will be confiscated unto the state of Venice. Okay, that means it will be taken away and it will belong to the state of Venice. Act 3, clear I think, Shashi? Just let me know. Act 3, Scene 2. Act 3, Scene 2, you were saying, can you please explain the lines after he opens the lead casket before reading the scroll? Achha, fair Portia's counterfeit. Okay, so Act 4, Scene 1, everything is important, Shreyashi. You can see, as many papers I discussed, as many papers you will see over here. Every single paper, as many I have seen, has Act 4, Scene 1. So you can understand everywhere questions can come. As MCQs, as long answer type, everything. So opening the lead casket, fair Portia's counterfeit. So fair Portia's counterfeit means he sees a picture which is just the kind of the picture. You can simply say the picture of Portia. What demigod? Demigod means he is comparing the Mayank, the same lines are you talking about that I am explaining? Okay. So what demigod hath come so near creation? Meaning that who is this demigod? These are very important questions. Okay, who is the demigod? Demigod is the person who has drawn the picture. Okay, he is being called a demigod. Why? Because according to Pisanio, such a beautiful portrait is painted. Okay, and that is possible only by a divine artist, somebody who is not a human being, who is somebody like like a god. So demigod, half divine person. Move these eyes. So he is saying that who was this painter who was able to draw so beautifully the picture of Portia? Okay, he is compared to a demigod, half divine person. Move these eyes. That means when you look at a portrait, it often you will see कि अगर left side से देखे तो ऐसा लगता है कि that person is watching you. Right side से देखो तब भी लगता है कि he is watching you. Front से देखो same thing. That means are the eyeballs moving? Okay. Move these eyes, or whether riding on the balls of mine, that means or because your eyeballs are moving, you are seeing the picture from different sides, you think that the eyeballs of the picture is moving. Seen they in motion? So it is such a real kind of a picture, so lifelike, that it seems that the eyeballs of that picture are moving. Okay. Here are severed lips. When you talk, what happens? The lips, move apart from one another. Severed means parted lips, open lips. They are not like this. They are open. Okay. Parted with sugar breath. So when you keep the lips half open, it seems that you are breathing through your mouth. Okay. So the picture, the portion of the lip, it seemed that he was breathing, that the picture was actually breathing. Okay. Just to show that it was lifelike. So sweet a bar should sunder such sweet friends. Who are the friends? The friends is actually the lips. The lips are separated from one another. Two lips, no, they are separated from one another. So they are separated by whom? By the sugar breath, of course, parted with sugar breath. Okay, so the sweet breath that he feels from the lifelike picture, it seems that that person is breathing, Portia is breathing through the mouth. So that breath is coming out and that is dividing, that is, creating a barrier between the friends. Who are the friends? The two lips, upper lip and lower lip. The painter plays the spider and hath woven a golden mesh to entrap the hearts of men. The painter, that means the person who has painted the picture, he has created he has painted the hair in such a way. Those days, what kind of hair they had? They had all those locks of hair, curly locks of hair, just like a golden mesh. She has golden hair, so golden mesh. And mesh means what? Web. Hair is compared to spider's web. Okay, and how it is being seen, just like the spider makes the web, okay, spider web, and in it insects are trapped. Same way your hair is looking so beautiful in this portrait that it seems that the hearts of men will be entrapped in it, or it will be trapped just like the insects in the cobweb. Okay, faster than gnats in the cobweb. Gnats are all those, those insects in the cobweb. But her eyes, how could he see to do them, having made one? Methinks it should have power to steal both heels. Remember, imagine I am drawing. Once I am seeing that person and drawing, okay, like this, first I have drawn the eye and it is looking so beautiful, I would be amazed seeing it. Cobweb, matlab, wo spider web hote hai na, those. Okay. So, that eye, yes, spider web, correct. Spider web is compared to Portia's hair. Okay. Icse, yes, good evening. So that eyeball, okay, that eyeball, he's saying, once one eye is drawn, that is so beautifully drawn, the painter must have been, there was a possibility, ऐसा chance था कि उसी eye को देखते ही रह जाते, वो picture जो paint किया है, one eye. Okay, it was impossible to, look to Portia once again to draw the other eye. You have to see and draw, no? This is not a picture that you are clicking. You have to see and draw. So once one eye is drawn, it would be, difficult for that person to move his eyes from this painted eye to look at the other eye of Portia. Clear? And leave itself unfurnished. So there was a possibility कि complete ही नहीं हो पाया picture because the half of it was done so beautifully. Okay. Yet look how far the substance of my praise doth wrong this shadow in underprizing it. Then suddenly he imagines, Arey, why I am constantly explaining or admiring the picture. That is just a picture. This is just a shadow. And the substance is in front of me. Who is the substance? Portia, the real Portia. Why am I constantly praising a picture that is just a shadow? The reality is standing, the substance is standing in front of me. I should praise her. Okay, here is the scroll. So he starts reading the scroll. Good evening, Shivani. Alright, so I believe it is clear to you now, Mayank. If it is not clear, you can still ask, or the explanation is also there with pictures. You can follow that also. There is a separate playlist made. Okay, if you go to the YouTube channel, you will get the whole playlist. From there also, you can find it. Okay, that's all. So we will meet in the next class. Those who haven't followed, we are doing the pre-board paper. First part, the link is given in the description box. You can go there and solve the MCQ of this pre-board paper and then come here. We have also discussed the second part, that is the, Merchant of Venice part. So you can share, as we are doing, you can share the, one video cannot contain everything, no Ayushi? Everything is there. You just have to go to the playlist. You will get everything over there. Follow the live classes. Huge number of practice papers are solved. Alright, Ayushi. You have one complete playlist on explanation, like the difficult topics. Okay, that also you can solve. You can purchase papers, as you can see. Okay, then to Shivani, you have lot of time to practice these papers. And these are what you can purchase. Already I have shown you. By December 31st, positively you have to give me the details about how many papers and stuff. Okay. And if you do not want to invest any money, you can share your own question papers, the pre-board papers, or any paper that you want me to solve. Okay. That will be a free of cost thing. So you have to share clear pictures. You have to send scanned pictures if possible to the same email ID that you can see over here. Okay, those will be discussed in the live classes. Do not ask for, many of you are asking for answers separately. That will not be possible. In that case, it will be difficult for me to explain over there, because that much time though I do not have. In the live class, I can help you with that. Because you see, in school sometimes it happens, no, that there are so many topics and so less time because of everything. Some certain times they cannot take care of all those things. Okay. So anyway, I believe there is no more doubt from here. Next class again, whoever, Ayushi, if you have doubts, you can regarding any topic, you can ask me. Next class also we will continue with the same pre-board paper. Okay. After we complete this, we will move to the language paper. I have got many papers. I will try as many we can finish. Okay. That's it. Thank you so much. Bye bye everybody.